YouTube, what is going on? Panda here, and this is my Smackdown Live June 18th review and thoughts. This is the second go-home show. This is the last WWE main roster's attempt to get us interested in WWE Stomping Grounds that is set for Sunday. And before I actually get into the actual review of the show, if I could be afforded to tell you guys a quick story. WWE Stomping Grounds is going to be in the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, Sunday. Alright, the reason why I'm saying this is because some people on social media has, in the wrestling community, I can't say on mine in particular, is defending a lot of WWE's creative disasters. Alright, and saying that AEW will never hold up to WWE, which obviously AEW has their pay-per-view, their big pay-per-view in August 31st for All Out in Chicago. The reason why I'm comparing these two is because this is WWE's closest pay-per-view and this is AEW's big pay-per-view. So the Tacoma Dome sits about 23,000 people in the arena. It is reported yesterday, this is yesterday, that almost a third of its sections are going to consist, almost a third of the arena is going to consist of empty rows. WWE is having a extremely hard time selling these tickets, and last week before Raw, they only had sold a third of the tickets. So you want to sit here and tell me that WWE Creative is doing their job well on social media, or these YouTubers that kiss WWE's ass literally week after week after week. You're telling me that WWE is probably going to have to hand out some of their tickets for free. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, just to fill these seats. For a pay-per-view with dead card, there's only two matches that I actually am personally invested in a 4-hour fucking pay-per-view, by the way. And that is the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match and the United States Championship match, which WWE doesn't care about those two titles, so they're probably going to be 8 minutes apiece. So we're going to have 16 minutes out of a 4-hour fucking show that I'm actually going to look forward to. The rest of these matches are rematches, either from Money in the Bank or WrestleMania, or there's, some kind of rematch clause, all of them. And as far as I know, Finn Balor's not even in the Stomping Ground pay-per-view, so there you go. The reason why I bring up AEW as well is because for all those goons who sit there and say that WWE is better than AEW. AEW sold out a venue in Chicago when the tickets went on sale in 15 minutes. And the reason why they sold them out in 15 minutes is because the server actually crashed because of the demand of the venue, the demand of the fans who wanted to buy the tickets overloaded the servers and it crashed. So you're telling me that a t-shirt company, AEW, is more, WWE is better than a t-shirt company when they can't even sell out their venue literally days before the pay-per-view, but yet AEW put out their ticket sales months in advance. Most venues do, most shows do. And they sold out in 15 minutes. And that's only because the servers went down. They could have sold out probably early. That is an actual official report. And the ticket demand for it was almost triple the size of the venue. So there you have it. That's for all you WWE people that think that WWE is going to be fine. Second thing I want to bring up real quick before SmackDown results. Chris Van Vliet had did a interview with Shawn Spears, and Shawn Spears used to be a WWE wrestler. Now he is he went under Ty Dillinger, and now he is a AEW wrestler. Good for him. Good for him. Get away from this fucking company as far as possible. Go to your the opponent, even though WWE doesn't see them as competition. And he said that if you know by the entrances who is going to win the match, you've insulted your fans. Your fans will turn the channel. The reason why I say this is because SmackDown was channel changing for 2 hours. I think there was only like maybe 4 or 5 matches in a 2-hour program, by the way. Which, okay, I understand that. I'm going to give it a little bit of leniency because, yes, of course, it's the go home. They have to hype up the pay-per-view, yada, 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 yada. But you'll see in a minute. Okay. So SmackDown started with the New Day in the ring. I'm over New Day. I'm over them. I liked them in the beginning. Kofi Kingston, he's your WWE champion. I have no problem with him. I have no problem with Xavier Woods, and I have no problem with Big E. It's just, why is your WWE champion still throwing pancakes out into the crowd? It looks dumb. He doesn't look like a champion like that. He looks like a fucking clown, okay? And the only reason why I'm not yelling probably in any of these portions is because I have people that sleep in my house. So I try to be a little bit respectful to them, or else I'd probably be pretty angry. Well, I am pretty angry. I'm just holding it inside. Alright. So WWE Champion Kofi Kingston greets the crowd. Xavier Woods says, this Sunday at WWE Stomping Grounds, we'll see one Kofi Kingston going up against Dolph Ziggler inside a steel cage. But that's only if Ziggler makes it through your boy tonight, because Dolph Ziggler's fighting Xavier Woods. Stupid match. The New Day likes to keep the show fresh for the people. No, they don't. Big E says he came up with a pitch for the final hour of SmackDown called the Freaky Hour. It involves a slip and slide. I will make a note here, and I did make a note. Big E looked bored as fuck during these promos. Dolph Ziggler music hits. I immediately started closing my eyes. I was going to sleep. I was already bored. I think we were like 3 minutes in. And he comes out to the stage. Dolph says this is typical New Day, trying to distract everyone from what we all know from Super Showdown, Super Letdown. Kingston doesn't deserve to be WWE Champion. Without the New Day, Kingston would have been nothing. This Sunday, they won't have his back. They won't be there for him. Kingston will be unable to stand on his own. The next time Kingston goes back to Ghana, won't be a celebration. It'll be an apology tour because he'll have to look in the eyes of those people in their faces and tell them that he failed. At Stomping Ground, Ziggler will slam and grind Kingston into the cage. Well, what I told you about Shawn Spears and Chris Van Vliet, everybody knows that Ziggler's not going to win this match. We all know this. This is another reason why your pay-per-view has no traction, by the way. Your WWE Championship match, even though it's in a steel cage, we all know the result. Kofi Kingston is going to win, because the only reason why Dolph Ziggler is even remotely in these stories is because he took the Saudi blood money to go to Super Showdown and Kevin Owens declined. That is literally the only reason. So why in the fuck would anybody put a belt on Ziggler? Why? He does his stand-up comedy. We haven't seen him in 6-7 months before this. He just shows up out of the blue because WWE Creative just does whatever the fuck they want. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares in the back. Nobody. And apparently sources have actually said that, and it is actually written in articles, that WWE doesn't even care about Stomping Grounds. They're seeing this show like back in the 1995's In Your House shows, pay-per-views, were pretty much nothing but house shows that they actually tried to charge money for. Which is bullshit. So, just in case you're not a wrestling fan like I have been for decades, 1995, 1996 was one of the worst creative years in WWE history. WWF back then. History. I would actually argue and say this year is worse than 1995 and 1996, but what do I know? Anyways, back to SmackDown. Try not to get on too many tangents. Oh, I got a rant coming up. Kingston says Ziggler's trying to talk to him about steel cages like he doesn't know that this whole journey to the WWE Championship began in the Elimination Chamber. Kingston says he's good with the cage, whatever. Whether he pins Ziggler or climbs over the cage or maybe hits him so hard with the Trouble in Paradise, he'll walk out of the front door. I think he said like shimmy or something. I was so bored. I didn't give a shit about anything these two had to say. Anything these two had to say. Well, anyways, no matter how it happens, he'll beat him at Stomping Grounds to remain the WWE Heavyweight Champion. That's Sunday, but Ziggler should worry about tonight. Xavier Woods is itching to pop Ziggler in the mouth like he did at Super Showdown. There was this one thing that I didn't really understand between these two is Ziggler and Kingston, and in my notes it doesn't say this. They were explaining the rules of a steel cage match. If you've watched any professional wrestling within the past, I don't know, 5 years. Well, actually, all you got to do is go to Money in the Bank, which was a month ago? They explained the steel cage rules like you're a fucking idiot. Like, we know how cages work. Everybody knows how a steel cage match works. Like, I don't even think you really have to be an avid wrestling fan to know how a steel cage match works. As Ziggler was telling the crowd who are there watching wrestling on how a steel cage match works. And, of course, he was getting booed out of the building because he's supposed to be a heel. But, Ziggler, I feel so bad for him. He is so talented in the ring. He reminds me a lot of Shawn Michaels in the ring. One of the best sellers of all time. One of the best wrestlers of all time. He gets pushed over because he doesn't have the attitude like Shawn Michaels had in the 90s. So, he literally leaves for 6-7 months. Comes back, get a title shot because Kevin Owens doesn't want to go overseas. And this is going to be a giant waste of our time. And it's one of the quote-unquote main events. So there you go. I can't even give a shit about the WWE Heavyweight Championship. So why the fuck should I give why should I give a shit about anything on Stomping Grounds? Literally. The main event is a rematch. Literally, of something that happened 2 weeks ago. Don't give a fuck. Don't care. Who should honestly care about this pay-per-view? WWE has done the bare minimum to sell us a pay-per-view. They got their little Saudi money, and now they're just gonna shove some cards down your throat that nobody gives a shit about. It's probably gonna have the low. I hope that the arena stays empty. I really hope the arena stays empty. Maybe Vince McMahon will finally realize that he's not cut out to do this shit anymore, and he leaves the fucking creative company and lets somebody else run it who actually gives a shit, like Triple H. That's why NXT is the only fucking show that WWE's disgusting logo is on that people actually give a shit about. It's the only thing I watch. That's today. I can't wait. Well, tomorrow, because I record this after Smackdown. It's going to be on Wednesday. I'm probably going to have something nice to say about it because it's NXT. I mean, I'll have to watch it on Thursday because I work, so I'll miss it. But either way. Back to Smackdown. Ziggler tells Kingston to pay attention to what will happen to his buddy. Ugh, I don't care. Ziggler hasn't forgotten Super Showdown. If it weren't for his buddies, he'd be WWE Champion right now. He says this 3 times. He just keeps making this point because literally this shows you that WWE Creative has no storyline for this. He just showed up at Super Letdown. He lost, and now he's fighting Kofi again. I think without Xavier Woods interfering in that match, there would be less of a story that there is here, and there's barely a story here. That's why they have to repeat themselves. After tonight, Woods will never be able to help him again, whatever. On to Sunday at Stomping Grounds, all the positivity, bad inside jokes, the laughs, and pretending to be something he's not comes crumbling to the ground when Kingston is locked in a steel cage with him. Dolph Ziggler says at Stomping Grounds, Kofi, you will no longer be WWE Champion, blah. Because it should have been me. It should have been me! I hate that. That is the worst thing. I do apologize if you're wearing earbuds. But when he says that, it is the dumbest. It's the dumbest shit. He says it like an old lady too, so that's why I did it like that. It said he also says, all right. So I'll reiterate: at Stomping Grounds, Kofi will no longer be WWE champion because it should have been me. It should have been me. It should have been me all along on Sunday. Sunday, it should have been me. That's what he actually said. This is a line for a over 30-year-old man talking to another most likely over 30-year-old man, and people were supposed to give a shit. Nice. Yeah, my note is I don't give a shit about what Dolph says. I really don't, because we all know the ending of all of this. We all know how this is going to end. So good stuff. Dolph Ziggler should go to AEW, by the way. I think he would do so much better if he was just allowed to not be the pushover of WWE's main card. All right, he's not the middle card. He's not a mid carder. He would be like a main eventer. You know, he has won the WWE heavyweight champions and all the other stuff before. But he's a fucking joke. He's a joke, and I hate it. Then after Dolph Ziggler walks away, we get the Titantron cut us something to look forward to in a little bit, which who cares. SmackDown's Women's Champion Bayley is walking backstage. She'll be on A Moment of Bliss, Alexa Bliss's piece of shit talk show later tonight. I call it A Moment of Piss because it's absolutely terrible. Dolph Ziggler takes on Xavier Woods one-on-one. Nobody cares. Just like what I said Sean Spears said. Who in the fuck honestly believes that Xavier Woods was going to win this match? Who? Who in the right mind? Dolph Ziggler is in a WWE Heavyweight Championship match in 5 days. At a pay-per-view. Xavier Woods is not even... Well, Xavier Woods is barely on the card. Alright, he's in that retarded tag team match that they got. Him and Big E versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Who cares? They've been wrestling each other in tag team matches for what? Like 4 weeks now? Nobody cares. It's just going to be another Raw, I guess. That's a Raw match. So, if you already know who's going to win the match, you're not suspending anybody's disbelief at all. Why should we care? Why should we give a shit about this? I miss the days of the old days where champions and challengers sometimes never even touched each other until the pay-per-view. There was a match between Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe in TNA. This is why I got to talk about this. Where for literally months, this was months, Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle never touched each other. Never touched each other. And that was TNA's highest selling pay-per-view of their whole company's career. Their whole company's history, I mean. Absolutely unbelievable. WWE doesn't know how to do anything creatively anymore. So yeah, alright, what's my notes on this? Oh yeah. Xavier Woods versus Dolph Ziggler. Yawn. They circle in the ring, and Ziggler quickly takes him down, but Woods gets out. Woods soon knocks him onto the ropes and connects with a dropkick. Ziggler quickly kicks him back and peppers him with strikes. Woods reverses a whip to the corner, his Irish whip, but Ziggler boots him back. Ziggler sends him to the corner, but Woods now boots him back. I mean, I was looking at my phone, I'm not going to lie. Ziggler sends him to the corner. Woods boots back. Woods follows up with the honor roll before going to the top rope. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn quickly run down to ringside to attack Kofi Kingston and Big E from behind. This is to consolidate their heel status, which, I mean, we all know that they're heels. We get it. Ziggler crouches Woods on the top rope. The referee ejects Owens and Zayn from ringside, and also the New Day as well. They ejected Big E and Kofi Kingston as well, which made it fair. It was one-on-one. Woods then catches them with a crossbody back to the floor. Woods gets into the ring, and Ziggler connects with a big spike DDT for near fall. Yeah, the spike DDT looked pretty good. We come back from commercial to see Woods duck a clothesline and forearm him down. Woods gets him outside the ring and connects with a baseball slide through the middle rope. Woods gets him in the ring and press slams him into a gut buster for a near fall. But on the apron, and Ziggler pushes him into the ring post before hitting a super kick. Woods falls to the floor. Ziggler gets him in the ring for a zigzag. Ziggler ties him up on the ropes like old Macho Man style and super kicks him for the win. Dolph Ziggler obviously wins the match. If you didn't think that Dolph Ziggler was going to lose this match, I'm sorry, but you need to have your head checked. Who did not see this coming? Seriously. Oh, my notes on this. Okay, one of the things that they did in this match that I personally thought was a giant no-no was the commentator team, which I hate WWE commentators. We all know that the best commentators was Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. I understand that they're super old. Jim Ross is with AEW, thank God, as well. The commentators were making fun of Dolph the whole time. The whole time. In this match, they were talking about, oh, what if he loses the Kofi? He's just going to go back to his comedy tour, and he's just going to do his comedy routines and his stand-up, and yada yada. So here's the thing, all right? You're a commentator for the company, for WWE. Your pay-per-view's in 5 days, okay? Why in the hell are you making fun of the challenger for your WWE title? In what world do we live in that the commentators, I mean, even the heel commentator, which is Corey Graves, which I absolutely despise him. This man couldn't hack it as a fucking wrestler. He didn't even get very far out of NXT. So then he became a color commentator. And he's the heel color commentator. He's supposed to be against all the other commentators, you know, the whole spill. Bobby Heenan did it the best. So, there you go. But, even he was in on it. He was like, oh yeah, Dolph, if Dolph loses against Kofi, he's just going to go back to the comedy club and comedy routines, and we'll never see him for 6 months, and take another hiatus, and take his ball and go home. And I'm sitting here the whole time. I mean, I've been watching this for way too long than I like to admit. How about somebody new? Let's say somebody was like, oh, I didn't know what this is, and they tuned in. Why in the hell should they care about Dolph Ziggler now? You buried him on television during a match that meant nothing, going into a pay-per-view that means nothing, and in a freaking outcome that everybody knows, everybody can see coming, even blind people can see it coming, and I don't like, you know, I'm not making fun of blind people, it's just the truth. Alright, this is just the truth. We all know Dolph Ziggler is not winning at Stomping Ground. This is all a waste of time. That's it. This is all a waste of time. And even the commentators cannot give Dolph Ziggler at least a little bit of credibility. Not even a micro molecule of credibility. So why the fuck should I care? Why should I care? You explain this to me, why I should care. Why I should give a shit about this match. That is your main event. That is one of your main events. You have 2 heavyweight championships on the line. Why should I care? This is WWE creative. This is what we deal with Monday and Tuesday, and then when SmackDown moves to Friday, when they have their Fox Sports deal, Monday and Friday. Thank God AEW is coming on Tuesday nights in October to at least break up this monotony of crap. And the thing is at least we'll have shit Raw, good AEW, good NXT, and then shit SmackDown. But that's great. You get to start your week and end your week on shit television. Nice. Thanks. I'm embarrassed to be a WWE fan half the time. I can't even call myself a fan. More of a disgruntled critic, I guess, now. Moving on, though. Sorry, this is probably going to be a long one. That was only the first match, by the way. Don't worry, there's not like as many matches anyways. So Oh yeah, the show replaced Seth Rollins' plight against Baron Corbin and taking out all of his potential guest referees last night on Raw. Okay, this is another mini rant. All right, so this is me just being. I understand wrestling is scripted, blah 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 blah. This is me being the logical person in the room. Okay, professional wrestlers, they do ladder matches, right? They'll do steel cage matches, they'll do elimination chambers, they'll do inferno matches, they'll do street fights, hardcore matches, the whole nine, right? So are you telling me, as a quote unquote professional wrestler who can literally jump off of a 25-foot cage onto somebody else on a pay-per-view on Sunday, and then show up Monday on Raw to gloat about how they won in said steel cage match, is going to be knocked out on Monday or Tuesday with a steel chair, which, if you know, in professional wrestling, is one of the weakest of the weapons, especially when you have ladders, thumbtacks, kidno sticks, in the whole nine, tables. How are they going to be knocked out for 6 days? 5 days if you count SmackDown. This is where this shit doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you want to take out the wrestlers, I don't know, on the pre-show? On the pay-per-view pre-show? You know, the hour that they have before the actual thing starts, where they just suck the pay-per-view's dick for an hour. You get like maybe one cold match that's straight crap, and then you gotta listen to these people who don't give a shit about being there. They're just there for a paycheck, talk about a card that's gonna be dead anyways. Why don't you give them something to actually watch for that whole hour? Have Seth Rollins take out the referees, the quote-unquote special guest referees, during the pre-show. At least that would make sense. They'd be like, oh, okay, Seth Rollins is going on a chair rampage, taking out, 4 or 5 wrestlers, during the pre-show, so they obviously can't referee this match that's going to happen in the same night, instead of 5 or 6 days later. Triple H has gone in 3 stages of hell matches with Stone Cold and others, and then comes back literally the next night on Raw with just a bandage over his head, and he's totally cool, and then he wrestles again. So, who are you convincing that these guys are still gone? I mean, I understand WWE thinks that you're all idiots, and they just think that, oh, you're just going to be too bored to fucking care, but the thing is that's just the way I see it. This is how I see it. Just let me know if I'm sounding crazy. Anyways. Alright. Yeah, it just showed Rollins taking out all the wrestlers, the special guest referees, last night on Raw. Corbin then took Rollins out at the end of the show. I already told you that. Shelton Benjamin. I forgot he was employed there. One of their top talents, especially in the early 2000s when he was with Kurt Angle and Charlie Haas, Team America. Awesome faction, by the way. Well, awesome stable. I can't really say faction because they broke up. They weren't together too long, but Shelton Benjamin. And the B Team, Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, and the son of Mr. Perfect, awesome, are standing outside Baron Corbin's dressing room. Benjamin says they're not stupid and no, Corbin just wants to use them. Matt Hardy walks out of the office and invites Benjamin, and he goes like Senor Benjamin or whatever, because he still has the delete gimmick. Nice. Matt Hardy, we need your brother back, because without Jeff, you're nobody. You're just old. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are backstage. Yawn. She'll have the SmackDown's Women's Champion, Bayley. Yeah, the moment of bliss is coming up. Go to commercial, come back, and a moment of piss with special guest Bayley. This feud. You can hear it in my voice. I don't need to have a video. You can just hear the excitement just getting sucked out of me, like Alexa Bliss sucks people off backstage to get pushes. We all know this. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out to the stage. Bliss calls attention to her friend Cross. I still feel bad for Nikki Cross, by the way. Bliss then asks for a stagehand to bring her coffee, because this is this angle that keeps going. But Bayley comes out instead. Bayley's drinking the coffee. Bliss mentions that Bayley crushed Cross's dream of becoming a champion last night. Bayley tells Cross that Bliss is just using her. I don't care. Bayley, this is like high school girl drama here for women who are in their late 20s and early 30s. Bayley says she's had enough of Bliss talking behind her back. Bayley dares Bliss to say it to her face. This is the part of this where Alexa Bliss incidentally talked about herself, and you will know why. Bliss gets to her feet and says she knows the real Bayley. When she started in NXT, she saw through Bayley. Every woman told Bliss that she didn't belong, including Bayley. The only person who was nice to her was Charlotte Flair. Now Bayley comes out with her Bayley buddies dressed from Forever 21, pretending she's just a fan. Bayley's a liar. Bayley says Bliss is making it up, which Alexa Bliss is a manipulator. We all know this. Real backstage. She's doing to Cross what she did to Mickie James and Nia Jax. Bliss isn't a goddess. You know, at this point, I thought Bayley was actually going to call her a whore. She had to stumble over her words. We all know the rumors of Bliss backstage and management and creative. That's why she gets all these pushes. She can work the mic. Let's just say that she's a good mic worker. That's the only thing she can work, because she damn sure can't work in the ring. That's for certain. But anyways, Bliss isn't a goddess. She's an entitled little princess who doesn't deserve a damn thing. Bliss says she's just better than Bayley. I laughed. And not in like, this was funny. I just laughed because it's just stupid. I love Bayley. Bayley's awesome. She is talented. She's a real professional wrestler, unlike Bliss. Bliss is just a whore. I mean, what else can you say? Bliss is the modern day Sable. Any of you guys who ever watched back in the 90s, she is Sable. She is talentless. All they do is showboat her around. That's why she had the white tight pants when she spilled the coffee on her. She's had the plastic surgery in certain spots that is very noticeable. Just put up a picture of Bliss at NXT and then Bliss now, and then you can just put the pieces together there like her surgeon did. Bayley says she doesn't need anyone but herself and is champion now. Bliss says Bayley is a placeholder because she peaked at NXT. I laughed again because Alexa Bliss peaked at NXT. Ever since Bliss left NXT, her stock as far as fan service has gone up because most WWE fans are casual wrestling fans anyways. They don't watch product outside WWE, which is a shame. You should. Because it's much better. Trust me, you'll enjoy it much better. But, yeah. I don't know why Bliss said that, but who cares? Maybe they're just trying to get some feud going. But anyways, the one person Bayley found undeserving is the one living the career she wanted, which would be Bliss. Bayley attacks her, and that was stiff as shit. Oh, I loved it. Okay, there's real life heat between Bayley and Bliss. We know this because there's real life heat between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Nobody likes Alexa Bliss backstage. She is what they call a political cunt backstage. She gets what she wants by going to management, doing whatever she's doing. She will skimmy out that cage door, if you know what I mean. And she gets all the title opportunities and all the spotlights in her own stupid talk show nobody cares about because she's blonde, she's now busted, and in more ways than one. And she takes a lot of the spotlight away from a lot of the other women wrestlers. So anyways, Bayley attacks her, hit her across the face. I mean, that was stiff as shit. From my angle, I think everybody saw it. Like, that was a stiff shot. And when Bliss got up, Bliss was bleeding from the mouth, and Bliss took a shot back at Bayley as well. So I'm still not interested in the match. I could care less, but it was nice to see at least a little bit of real heat come out. Nikki Cross pulls Bayley off of Bliss and yells at her. Bliss then attacks Bayley from behind. Bliss and Cross walk off. Cool. Nobody cares. Stupid. Alright, after that, Zelina Vega is fixing her hair backstage when Apollo Crews comes up. Crews says Andrade isn't too far away if she's here. Vega thinks he's trying to flirt with her. Crews tells her to tell Andrade that he's looking for him. Andrade attacks Crews from behind and sends him into some crates. Andrade and Vega walk off. Chad Gable is taking notes in the background. Chad Gable. He looks like a Walmart attendant with that vest, by the way. We don't know if he was actually taking notes or maybe he was taking stock of aisle 9. Alright, he looks like a Walmart guy. He looks like a Walmart stalker at night. It didn't do anything for me, that segment. Andrade, I'm happy to see him back, and back in this full swing. We know that his mother had passed away at the Super Saudi Showdown. So I'm glad that he is back. That does suck, and I wish him all the emotional and personal healing in the world. I really do. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan are talking backstage. Heavy Machinery takes on the B Team next. They did a tag team match. This was a night of tag team matches, by the way. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are on commentary for the B Team versus Heavy Machinery match, which, like I said, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are just wasted talents, like most of the talents in WWE. I don't even know why I even say this. Any name I put out there that isn't named Alexa Bliss or Roman Reigns or Shane McMahon or that's about it. Is a waste of talent. Anyways, Tucker starts against Curtis Axel. Axel takes him down and stomps away at him. Bo Dallas tags in and stomps away at Tucker. Axel tags in and gives Tucker a DDT for a near fall. Axel applies a chin lock, because that's what we want to say in the year 2019. Chin locks. But Tucker fights up and clothesline Axel down. Otis and Dallas tag in. Otis knocks Dallas down and avalanches Axel. Otis hits a spinning scoop slam on Dallas before clotheslining Axel out of the ring. Dallas punches and kicks Otis, but he gyrates. Yeah. Anyways, he did like an Ultimate Warrior shake the ropes thing, which in 2019 is a no-go. Anyways, Otis picks Dallas up and hits a fall-away slam. Axel runs in, but Otis avalanches him onto Dallas. Otis then connects with the Caterpillar, because, they're supposed to be rugged, hardworking men, so Caterpillar like the machine. Tucker tags in, and Heavy Machinery hits the compactor for the win, so Heavy Machinery wins. Don't care. Heavy Machinery, again, as Sean Spears says, Heavy Machinery is going up against the Tag Team Champions in a pay-per-view in 5 days. Quit putting matches that you already know the outcomes. You have so much talent back there. So much talent. I don't even need to see any of the wrestlers on the pay-per-view on this card. I don't need to. Unless it's a promo. They can cut a promo. I don't care. Alright? They can cut a promo. As long as it's not a 30-minute promo. Shane McMahon. Jesus Christ. These shows are so freaking boring. Hate this shit. Alright. Heavy Machinery celebrates and goes to the back. WWE Universal Seth Rollins goes to the ring and annihilates the B Team with steel chair. Again, I don't care. Don't care. And we also know that there is an actual fact that WWE has put in like fake crowd noises. You could tell the crowd was totally dead, but yet in the background you could hear like the crowd had just won, like they were in Toronto when the Raptors won the NBA Finals. So there you go. Nobody cares. Not even the people that attend these damn shows care. They don't care. Nobody cares. It was probably, parents taking their kids to, go see John Cena, even though John Cena doesn't work there anymore. But what do the parents know? They don't watch this shit, so. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. Okay. So after the chair attack on professional wrestlers who are supposed to be out for 5 days now, don't put them in a steel cage match, by the way. They're paper. We go outside to see a limousine pulling up out of the arena. Who would have thought who it was? Of course, we all knew who it was. Driver gets out, opens the back door. Shane McMahon comes out, and I just immediately wanted to change the channel. Comes out and walks into the arena. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come up to McMahon to tell him that Rollins did it again with the chair on the B team. Okay, why hasn't nobody's taken the chair away from Seth Rollins? Why isn't there officials or cops? Do you guys remember back in the Attitude Era, any guys who were in there who watched, or the Ruthless Aggression Era, where like Stone Cold would get arrested and thrown in jail so he didn't have to be on the card, so then they would hype up the pay-per-view, so then he'd be released out of jail before the pay-per-view, and then he'd sit there and beat up The Rock or Triple H or whoever the hell he was wrestling for the belt or defending his belt. Do you guys remember all that? Why isn't Seth Rollins arrested? That's assault. It's assault. I understand it's professional wrestling, yada, yada, yada. I'm just trying to throw in some logic here, alright? You don't like it, don't listen. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry, I'm just annoyed. This is week after week after week after week after week of this shit. And it never gets better. Okay. They fear for their safety. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I don't care. McMahon tells them to take care of it by facing Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Again, we've had a 2 out of 3 falls match last week on Raw, or last night. I'm losing my mind. Last night on Raw, and now we're having one again for the main event on SmackDown. Because this is WWE's creative, and they don't know how to book shows anymore. It's Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon jerking each other off all day. Nice. And you're wondering why you can't sell out your freaking arenas for your stupid pay-per-views nobody cares about. Don't worry, October's coming. AEW. That is the day I'm looking forward to that month. Not only is it my birthday, AEW will be on TNT weekly, and I'll be covering them as well. So we go to a commercial break. When we come back, another insult to the professional wrestling business. Aleister Black is shown backstage. Put this man in a match, please. NXT, he was amazing. Classics all over the place. He was good in SmackDown. He was good on the main roster. Why is he not on your shows, except for to do this stupid gimmick that he's in like some kind of closet or whatever the hell he's doing, talking about people fighting him? Just give me somebody to fight. That's what he says. What he needs to be doing, instead of knocking on or staying in that closet, he needs to come out of the closet, knock on Triple H's door, and say, hey, Papa H, send me back up to NXT, please. I'm not going to read what he says. Same shit. I need somebody to fight. Whoa, my opponent. Blah, 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 blah. He just says the same shit. I did like he says, he asked what it takes to change the essence of a man. I can answer that by saying, watching Raw and SmackDown. It'll make you go crazy. Jesus Christ. This show sucks. Shane McMahon makes his entrance. I then bash my head into the nearest wall that I find. Elias joins him. The joke, Elias. And Drew McIntyre, yawn, is soon out as well. He gets his own entrance, of course. Elias is a joke in professional wrestling. I don't know what he's doing. Besides collecting a paycheck, of course. 3 men walk down the ring. McMahon says he doesn't need Greg Hamilton to do his intro tonight because everybody knows he's the best in the world. Ha ha ha. No, you will see the best in the world August 31st in Chicago for AEW. Don't worry about that. Spotlight needs to be on Drew McIntyre tonight. McIntyre will beat Roman Reigns this Sunday at Stomping Grounds. McIntyre says he wants Reigns at 100% this Sunday, which I do have to say Roman Reigns didn't make the show. That's good. At least I didn't have to completely lose my mind. The Miz interrupts him and comes out to the stage. The Miz has footage of Roman Reigns destroying Shane McMahon on Raw last night. He did in slow-mo. Stupid. Miz says he has more footage, but McMahon threatens to fire everyone at the production truck, which would be funny as hell because Kevin Dunn's in there. If Shane McMahon would fire Kevin Dunn, Shane McMahon would become my favorite guy, I think, in WWE. At least Triple H then could take full control and make this the product that it needs to be, by the way. You know, SmackDown back in 2016. If you need a good show, watch SmackDown on the WWE Network in the year 2016. all the way up until December, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, McMahon says he's putting Miz in a match with Drew McIntyre, of course, and Elias, and has 10 seconds to find a partner. The WWE 24/7 Joke Championship champion R-Truth emerges from under the ring, and Miz says Awesome Truth will reunite. Dumb. AOP is standing outside Baron Corbin's office. The Iconics walk up and look at them. They see the Kabuki Warriors and Paige back. This is something that was actually put a grin on my face because it was good to see Asuka and Kairi Sane again. And what happens in this segment was awesome. At least to me. Paige says that they'll have a women's tag team championship match next week in Tokyo. Please win. Please have them win. Take the belts off of the Iconics. I don't care. I know this is WWE not building anything. This is just another random freaking match that they're just throwing out. Who cares? They're not even putting on the pay-per-view, so you can't even get invested in that either. So it'll be in Tokyo. If it is in Japan, seeing how the Kabuki Warriors are both Japanese, I would hope that they win. And we can finally rid ourselves of the Iconics as tag team champions. There you go. They come back to the ring. Tag team elimination match. Elias and Drew McIntyre versus Miz and R-Truth. The Miz starts off against Elias and wrenches the arm. R-Truth tags in and drops a leg on Elias for a 2 count. R-Truth gets pumped up and Drew McIntyre tags in. R-Truth kicks him in the face and goes for a scissors kick, but McIntyre moves. McIntyre then hits an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. McIntyre viciously punches him down. Elias tags in and attacks R-Truth. R-Truth pulls the top rope down to get him out of the ring. McIntyre throws Elias into the ring and tags himself in. McMahon also pulls Miz off the apron to keep R-Truth from being able to tag. Elias knees R-Truth in the corner and pins him to eliminate him. Okay. So, seeing how R-Truth is the 24/7 shit title holder, you cannot, like, if he's sanctioned in, like, an official match, quote unquote, the 24/7 title rules where, you know, you have to have an official and you can pin him anytime, anywhere, is dumb crap. The old hardcore championship rules, but a lot dumber. When you're actually in an official match, the championship then becomes, like, pretty much like it didn't exist, which I wish it never existed, but whatever. So R-Truth is eliminated, and then this happens. In the middle of a match where The Miz said all this stuff prior to the match, which I didn't bring up because I didn't care. It was about, you know, how Shane's father is, you know, he's lucky, he's had everything handed to him, blah, 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 all this serious stuff. And then R-Truth was serious in the match, in the tag match, which of course he get eliminated because, like Sean Spears said, who actually saw Drew McIntyre losing this match when he has a match against Roman Reigns at Stomping Ground? Logic, right? Waste of time. But this is not the biggest sin of it all, because we all knew Drew McIntyre was going to win. Biggest sin is after R-Truth gets pinned and eliminated. This is in the middle of a tag team elimination match. R-Truth is still laying in the ring. The lower card, the people who've been chasing R-Truth for the 24/7 championship for weeks, pinning him in golf courses, pinning him on airplane tarmacs, placing him, like, pinning him in parking lots and all this other stupid shit that takes up television time. For anybody else who takes their job seriously and isn't a bunch of comic fucks who should just leave the wrestling business. And I love R-Truth. I really do. R-Truth is amazing. Alright, he's a great performer. He is funny. When him and Goldust were together, it was perfect. It wasn't Booker T Goldust, but it was close, okay? Little Jimmy. I like the whole gimmick of R-Truth. But you're in the middle of a official match made by the boss's son, who's standing there on the side on the floor. A bunch of these lower card SmackDown guys come running down to go pin R-Truth for this god-awful title who shouldn't even be on the main show. Keep it on your stupid internet, your YouTubes, your Twitters, your Instagrams, your whatever. And in the middle of a tag team match, they're trying to chase R-Truth through the ring. He's running. One guy grabbed the belt. I don't even know who it was. He just grabbed the 24/7 belt and was running around the ring like a child at Chuck E. Cheese's who didn't take his Ritalin. This guy is running around. The referee that they brought out as well, because you need a referee, even though there's a referee standing in the ring, he can't leave to go chase R-Truth, so there's another one out there. He's looking at him and he's going, no, you have to pin R-Truth to win the belt. You can't just grab it and run. Okay? This is in the middle of a match, by the way. The Miz, Drew McIntyre, and Elias are standing in the middle of the ring, staring at... Well, Drew McIntyre had this look on his face. He looked like he was going to kill somebody. Like, I love Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre actually takes his job seriously, and you can tell it. He puts a lot of work and effort, even though he's become a goon to Shane McMahon, which is another insult. He's standing there in this ring looking at this, and I can tell. You know how you can read somebody's face really well? The look on this man's face was like, get these fucking cronies out of... This is a match. This is a actual match going on right now. And they're running around the ring in circles and crawling in the ring to get R-Truth to pin him for a title nobody cares about. That nobody in that back cares about except for the exact same 8 or 9, mid-card, lower-card guys. Can't even call them mid-card guys. The lower-card guys. A lot of 205 guys, cruiserweights and stuff. To pin R-Truth for a 24/7 title. In the middle of a match. I know I keep saying this, but it needs to be repeated. What in the fuck, WWE, are you doing? What are you doing? He jumps over the barricade, R-Truth. He snags the title back somehow. I wasn't even paying attention. I lost all interest in a match I already knew the outcome to. Already knew the outcome. My God. What is going on with WWE Creative? What is going on? This is embarrassing. He jumps over the stupid barricade. All the wrestlers and the referee chase him down through the crowd that he's running. All the wrestlers are chasing him through the crowd. I think there was like one wrestler left, still running around the ring for some comedic effect. And Drew McIntyre was giving him this death stare, like, get the fuck out of here, dude. You're ruining any legitimacy that just happened to them. The whole match then sucked out completely. After that, it was shit. I don't even know why they even continued the match. I really don't know why. A predictable outcome, and it just... Why? Why even care? Why after that? After seeing the 24/7 title, after seeing a bunch of wrestlers literally run in the middle of a official match with referees running around, yelling at wrestlers that you have to pin R-Truth. I'm so tired of this 24/7 title. In October, it will become irrelevant. I guarantee you. The moment AEW goes on TNT, 2 weeks later, once they're crushing WWE's main roster into the dirt with ratings. Into the dirt with ratings. And don't tell me pro wrestling is not wanted in the United States of America. Go ask AEW when they continue to sell out their arenas in 15 minutes. If not less than that. Get out of here with this crap. The 24/7 title will finally be thrown away in the trash where it belongs. And we won't ever have to see it again. Thank God. I can't wait. I'm telling you. October, amazing. Can't wait. Commercial break. We come back from the break to see Miz boot Elias in his taped ribs. He's obviously selling the injury from Seth Rollins, which makes my point about the chair thing and the pay-per-view. Elias is wrestling the day after he was attacked, so There you go. Logic out the window, guys. Miz kicks away at him and hits a kneeling DDT for a near fall. Miz goes for the it kicks, but Elias counters with the electric chair. Miz gets out and McIntyre connects with a Glasgow kiss, which is a headbutt. McIntyre tags in and connects with a Claymore kick for the win. Nobody even got eliminated on the Elias team, which was good because at least Elias got a win. That's good. Shane McMahon gets to the ring and throws Miz into another Claymore kick. McMahon holds Miz up one more time, and McIntyre connects with the third Claymore kick. Just setting up crap for, the pay-per-view nobody gives a shit about. Okay. The commentators talk about the boring WWE Stomping Grounds card. Don't know why. I'll watch it to do a review, but that's about it. Ember Moon is walking backstage when she sees Carmella. Carmella is looking for R-Truth. Moon sees Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Okay, Ember Moon and Carmella were walking past each other like two ships in a night. They stop. Ember Moon asks where Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose is, even though Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are literally like right next to where they're talking. So Ember Moon clearly saw them. There wasn't anything hiding them. They weren't like in a corner. They're just standing there, so they obviously see them. So this was a WWE production fail. But again, who cares but me, apparently. So Carmella is looking for R-Truth. Moon sees Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville eating donuts backstage. Moon says she's tired of them and knocks the donuts out of their hands before brawling with them. Referees break it up. Nobody cares. It was literally a waste of a segment. It was good to see Ember Moon on TV. She just needs to be in the ring. There you go. Don't need to see that. Okay. Firefly Funhouse segment from last night's Raw. Did I talk about it? I'm not sure. If I didn't, I'll quickly go over it. If I did, I apologize. Bray Wyatt was pretending to water plants. He said that with some ideas, plants need, or like plants, ideas need water and sun to grow. Some of them are full of worms. He does like this freaky stuff, and I'm kind of over it. It is a good concept. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that. I want to see him in the ring. I want to see Bray Wyatt in the ring. I don't want to see him. I mean, he could still do the segments. The segments are good. I'm not saying they're bad. It's the best thing WWE has going for it right now outside of what? No, that's it, really. I mean, I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with it. I want to see Bray. I just want to see Bray wrestle. That's it. I'm so ready for him to actually wrestle. Don't wrestle on the pay-per-view, by the way. If you do that, you're an idiot. Alright, so after the Firefly Funhouse segment, more R-Truth. R-Truth is running backstage looking for Carmella. A referee is standing by a car, which, these segments, man. Again, you now have two segments taking up precious time for somebody else to wrestle, like Ember Moon, over this 24/7 crap. Referee comes out of the car. He isn't standing by. R-Truth calls an Uber, and a referee steps out, and he doesn't connect the dots. And then next to him is clearly somebody who isn't Carmella in a wig, who's clearly a male. Built. Whatever, man. R-Truth thinks he's doubling as an Uber driver. R-Truth turns and sees someone dressed as Carmella is revealed to be Drake Maverick, 205 guy. R-Truth elbows him back, but Maverick rolls him up, wins the WWE 24/7 championship, and drives off. R-Truth looks stunned that Carmella did that to him because, R-Truth's a comedy guy. This is sad. This makes me sad. This really does. Reading this out and then what I watched not too long ago, it does. It makes me sad. Main event time after the commercial. 2 out of 3 falls match. Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins, your two champions, tagging together again. Good job, WWE Creative. You've done this 1,000 times, literally with these two as well. Good. Versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Again, why should we care when we know the outcome? Bell rings. Kofi Kingston immediately hits Sami Zayn with a Trouble in Paradise. Seth Rollins knocks Kevin Owens off. And they win in, 15 seconds? So they lead 1-0. One more commercial. We come back to see Owens and Rollins square off. Owens punches him and sends him into the ropes, but Rollins ducks a clothesline and hits a sling blade. Kingston tags in and hits an axe handle to the arm. Kingston wrenches the arm and tags Rollins in. Rollins comes off the top rope with the axe handle to the arm. Rollins sends him in to the corner, but Owens drops him on the apron. Rollins punches Owens back and scares Zayn away. Owens quickly counters a springboard into a slam. Owens knocks Kingston off the apron and covers Rollins for a 2 count. Owens covers 2 more times for the same result. Then they cut to Paul Heyman happily watching it. Whatever, man. What was my notes for this? Oh, yeah. Boring. It was. Very boring. Zayn tags in and punches away at Rollins. Zayn applies a chin lock. That's what we need to see in 2019 again. But Rollins fights up to his feet. Zayn pushes him to the corner and punches away at him. Zayn puts him on the top rope and goes for a suplex, but Rollins fights him off and headbutts him down. Owens quickly tags in, but Rollins knocks him back. Rollins connects with a blockbuster. Kingston and Zayn tag in. Kingston hits Zayn with a springboard chop before knocking Owens off the apron. Kingston hits Zayn with 2 chops and a dropkick. Kingston connects with a leaping clothesline followed by the boom drop. Kingston sets up in the corner, but Zayn backs away. Zayn boots him back, but Kingston comes back with a double jump crossbody block for a 2 count. Kingston catches Zayn trying to leave the ring, but Zayn counters back with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Owens tags in and Kingston takes him down. Rollins tags in and hits Zayn with a suicide dive before hitting Owens with one. Rollins gets Owens into the ring and hits springboard clothesline. Zayn grabs Rollins' ankle, but Kingston clotheslines him. Owens rolls Rollins up for near fall. Rollins gets out of a pop-up powerbomb, and Rollins soon connects with a super kick. Rollins signals for the buckle bomb, but Owens gets out. Rollins stomps him for the win. So they win. The champions win 2-0 on the best of 3. So, okay. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4 matches. So I was right. 4 matches in 2 hours. Actual wrestling matches. If you want to count it that. I don't call that wrestling. I call it bullshit. But, yeah, so that was SmackDown Live for June 18th, 2019. The go-home show before Stomping Grounds. This is the last WWE main roster show that people care about before the pay-per-view. Out of 5, half a star. This sucked. This show was terrible. This show meant nothing. You had the elimination match that the heels went 2-0 on. And you had the main event where the babyfaces went 2-0 on. For your Shawn Spears is probably the most intelligent man to talk to Vince about insulting the crowd. That's what he was actually talking about when he says, when you already know the outcome by the entrances, you're insulting your fans and they tune out. That's why your ratings suck. And Vince McMahon literally looked at him and said, oh shit. Like, oh well. He doesn't care. He does not care about his own product. And a lot of the times, I think that a lot of the wrestlers don't give a shit either. EC3, he looks like he wants to go hang himself from the rafters every time the camera's pointed on him. Even Big E was starting to look bored. And Big E has one of the most over gimmicks in the faction. They have over faction in professional wrestling. Well, WWE's version of professional wrestling, I'm sorry. The Bullet Club exists, by the way, people. So does Undisputed Era. Well, they're in WWE, but I don't even count NXT as the WWE, like, universe. I really don't. It's just its own brand, and I would wish that Triple H like one day just said fuck it, and just split completely from WWE, start his own company, and actually run WWE into the ground, which is going to happen anyways. So who cares really? Uh, this event and this pay-per-view that's happening on Sunday, 4 hours of nothing, but 2 matches. Like I said, that will probably be 8 to 10 minutes long. That's including entrances. I have never. Well, I do want October to show up, AEW. I'm excited for AEW. But as these weeks come by, keep going with WWE television, the more and more I want to see WWE fail. I don't want wrestlers out of a job, but I just want WWE to be better. I want it to be NXT level. Better. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, Vince McMahon is so out of touch. He has no idea what it takes to make a superstar in the year 2019. He didn't know what it took to make a superstar back when CM Punk was talking to him, and that was, 2011? 2012? Whenever that was. I think it was 2011. It was 2011. Yeah, with the whole Kevin Nash angle and all that other ridiculous crap. This is god-awful, man. It's all I gotta say. This show was awful. Boring. I was looking at my phone. I was watching random videos on YouTube. I had zero investment in this. Do you guys remember, like, Sunday Night Heat, Velocity, all those shows that used the pay-per-view build-up that day? Like, Raw and SmackDown would kind of do it back in the day. I'm talking about the Attitude Era. Kind of back in the day where, it was, they didn't waste the whole show, like SmackDown, on, King of the Ring or whatever. They would have Sunday Night Heat to give you, it was like a pre-show, give you good matches, and still hype up the pay-per-view. The only thing that would be on Raw and SmackDown would be like the big championships cutting their promos and stuff. They might do like a brawl where they were separated or whatever. I do have to admit, in the 90s, that gimmick was getting old too. But it's better than this shit. It's better than this shit. The whole card on SmackDown, all 4 matches, were wrestlers. Let me check just to make sure, so I'm not misfeeding you guys information. I'm pretty sure it was all the same. Every single wrestler on that card that wrestled was in the pay-per-view. Wrestling guys who either weren't on the pay-per-view or way down on the card. Let's see. Dolph Ziggler, Xavier Woods, Heavy Machinery, B-Team, Elias, Drew McIntyre, Miz. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, so that whole card was wasted. That whole show, was wasted on matches that you already knew the outcome to. There's no surprise. There's no entertainment. There's no wonder. There's no interest. You had Alexa Bliss's talk show, which is god-awful every week. Anybody who steps in the ring with Alexa Bliss automatically gets a 1-star or below out of 5. Because that woman can't wrestle. She can't do anything. Except for look pretty. And I'm talking about on the show, not backstage. I'm sure she can do a lot backstage. She has nothing of value. It's nauseating to see her wrestle and cut promos. Are you excited for Stomping Ground? I mean, come on. Seriously, who's excited for this? Who's excited for Stomping Ground? Who? Damn sure ain't me. I don't give a shit. I'm watching it purely on a review sake. That's it. Oh, I will watch the Samoa Joe and Ricochet match. Cool. That's the one match I have a lot of interest in. And yet, I still don't think Ricochet is going to win it. I think Ricochet, like, they might have a rematch at Extreme Rules, because Extreme Rules is next, and then he might win it there. But they kind of got it. I think the direction that they're going is they're going to build it up a little bit, for Samoa Joe to kind of get like some heat, because he is a heel. He's a good heel, at least. Get some heat on Ricochet. They can start building up somewhat of a storyline for Extreme Rules. Ricochet can beat Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules, and then at SummerSlam, which is in August, have a match for the United States Championship, a triple threat match between Rey Mysterio, who never lost the damn thing, Samoa Joe, and Ricochet. Who would want to see that? I know I would. That probably would be the match of the year in WWE. But we know WWE's not going to do this. It will probably be Ricochet loses and, oh well, just go back to fighting Cesaro for the 20th time. Who wants to see that shit? Again, granted, Cesaro's a great worker. Ricochet's a great worker. But we've seen it. It's too much. It's overexposed. We get it. Okay? This is garbage, man. WWE is in some trouble. WWE is in trouble. At least the main roster is. We all know that the fight, I said this before, we all know the fight is not going to be AEW versus WWE main roster. It's going to be AEW versus NXT. Triple H sees what's going on. Triple H is preparing himself to battle Cody Rhodes in AEW. Because it sure ain't going to be Vince. Vince laughs at AEW. They're just a t-shirt company. Well, this t-shirt company is about to bury you. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is the senile level of Vince McMahon and his ego level. He's insane. And the quicker he gets removed out of power, or the quicker he dies in the chair, the quicker WWE can be saved. Unless Kevin Dunn takes it over. Oh God, I couldn't even imagine that. Kevin Dunn is signed to be the leader of that company once Vince goes. Oh jeez. Oh my God. I don't even want to entertain that thought because I'm barely keeping down my dinner now after watching this crap. But anyways, guys, this is SmackDown Live, June 18th, 2019 review. I've already said what I'm going to say about it. There ain't nothing more. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at UndergroundPan1, Underground Panda Gaming. Thank you all for you guys' support through this. My wrestling reviews are gaining good traction. Love it, guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. But if you're new to this channel, guys, please leave a like or dislike, a comment, rate, subscribe, share. Do what you guys can to get this channel out there. I really do appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. New subscribers out there, guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the den. Hope you guys enjoy the content. I have gaming content coming out as well. Practically daily, except for Saturday and Sunday. But I hope you guys enjoy this and look forward to the content that comes out daily. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with more content. But until then, take care for now.